Sarah Chen is a recurring fictional name frequently generated by different large language models, LLMs, such as ChatGPT, Claude, and others, when inventing characters in stories, examples, or roleplay scenarios. This phenomenon illustrates a specific pattern within AI models that has led users to notice and discuss the name's persistent appearance, prompting questions about why so many supposedly independent systems revert to the same names and character archetypes. Who is Sarah Chen? Sarah Chen is not a real person, but an AI-invented persona, a professional often depicted as a scientist, educator, or expert who embodies both Western and Eastern influences through her name. She often appears as an authority figure in disciplines like STEM, regularly popping up as the protagonist or supporting character in tech-driven narratives and professional examples created by LLMs. What is the origin of the name? Sarah is a common English first name that is considered safe, familiar, and easily pronounceable in many contexts, while Chen is one of the most prevalent Chinese surnames. The combination results in a name that seems diverse, globally relatable, and yet not directly traceable to a real, high-profile individual. This balance makes it an appealing default for algorithms aiming to maximize relatability and inclusiveness without risking offense or confusion. Wapa. Where is the pattern observable? Users across forums, Reddit threads, Substack essays, and even YouTube videos report encountering Sarah Chen in educational content, sample scenarios, fiction, and technical demonstrations produced by a wide swath of AI models and platforms. Sometimes the name even appears alongside other stock personas meant to signify diversity, expertise, or authority. When did this start? Reports of the Sarah Chen phenomenon have become especially prominent since LLMs surged in popularity around 2022 to 2025, as user communities began to compare outputs from different models and discovered this shared behavior. The trend has only accelerated as models continue to recycle content, both from their own outputs and from similar training datasets. 5. Why do LLMs use the same name tropes? Several factors drive this recurrence. Training data overlap. AI models are trained on overlapping large datasets, internet text, sample fiction, technical writing, etc., which can embed the same safe names and structures into their probabilistic outputs. Algorithmic Goldilocks effect. The combination Sarah Chen represents a just right compromise between familiarity, Sarah, and diversity, Chen, making it statistically likely to be chosen when models want a non-controversial, globally relatable everywoman. 4. Recursive amplification. Outputs from earlier AI models sometimes wind up in newer models' datasets, a process called model collapse or thetic data, amplifying quirks like recurring names as artifacts of artificial, not organic, diversity. Stock photo theory. Just as stock photos aim to depict an ideally diverse generic workforce, AI-generated names like Sarah Chen serve as textual equivalents for inclusivity. How does this phenomenon happen across LLMs? Because LLMs from OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta, and others share training sources and are optimized to avoid risky, controversial, or potentially offensive names, they statistically converge on the same inoffensive, globally familiar options. Thus, when prompted to invent a professional expert, many models independently select the same archetypal names. The social effect is like encountering Jane Doe in legal contexts. Sarah Chen becomes the Jane Doe of AI-generated professional expertise. Broader implications. This repetition is not malicious but reveals the limits of synthetic creativity and the deep entanglement of training data, risk management, and systemic feedback loops. It highlights both the opportunities and challenges in seeking authentic diversity and unpredictability from generative AI systems. The Sarah Chen pattern is now a minor but telling signpost in the evolving relationship between artificial intelligence and human creativity.